If you want to leave your corporate job to build a successful coaching or expert knowledge-based business online, or if you've got that already or you're starting that as your side hustle and you're wondering how you can transition from the corporate space to the online space, this video is for you. So over a year ago, I quit my corporate job to build a 7-figure online business. I was in the corporate space for over 15 years. I really had a great job with great salary, great benefits, amazing bonuses, and a step to really progressing to a senior management role. So I was already in a leadership role, but I could move up to being a VP, for example. But I thought this isn't the life that I wanted. Like, I feel like I was built for more. And whenever I save the company millions of pounds, I then think, actually, I could do that myself, you know? So I thought, let me start looking into another path. And that's when I stumbled on a YouTube video about this girl who's making a lot of money on Instagram. And I thought, let me try that. So in today's video, I want to walk you through step by step on how you can transition from being in the corporate space to building a successful business online. So the first thing that I did, or the first thing that I would recommend for you to do, is to first review your finances. When I started, I had to look at everything that I was spending, and if they took my corporate pay away, what is the bare minimum? Like, I had a number. I had a number that would cover my bills, my living expenses. What would that number look like? So me and my husband actually did this exercise as a family, because I thought one of the reasons that I want to build the online business was so me and my husband can step away from corporate and really own our time. So we had to look at it from both sides. And I thought, okay, I would be happy if I can bring in a net profit of 10,000. So that would cover the bills, the mortgage, and, you know, the day-to-day living. We had that number in our heads at the beginning. And then the next thing is commit to a time to be able to build this business. Because if you're like me, I am an all-in kind of person. Like, I would work not just from the time of 9 till 5, but if someone needs me before then or after then, after 5 o'clock, then I would be there and I would do that work. But when I had this thing that I really wanted to start an online business, I shifted my mindset and I've put boundaries. Like, I need to work 9 till 5. That's it. Like, as much as, don't get me wrong, I was still doing my job, but it then forced me to become really resourceful and focused, that within that 9 to 5 was able to do the job that is required of me. And then after 9 to 5, that's when I can then focus on my business. It was tough at the beginning. Like, it was one of the hardest things I had to do, but I really enjoyed it. Like, this is why, which I'll come on to the next bit, but this is why picking a niche and really knowing your why, and it's deep rooted in you, it doesn't become a chore, it becomes exciting. So that's how I viewed it. So I didn't mind working till like 11 o'clock at night, for example, working on my business. And one of the reasons that I wanted to point out why I didn't leave my corporate when I wanted to start an online business was I didn't want to have that financial stress on me. I want to be able to make the decision of building my online business according to my long-term goal. Like, I don't want to be swayed into quick wins or panic that would lead to wrong decisions. So I thought, okay, let me keep my corporate as the security blanket whilst I build the business of my dreams. That's what I did. I set some boundaries. I set like a number that I wanted to hit. So the next steps that I would recommend you focus on is pick a profitable niche. Like, you have so many expertise that's transferable from your corporate training, from all your experiences, that you can transfer into a skill that is a solution to people's problems. So I would really start with your expertise of, okay, how can I help someone who's struggling with this? Because if you focus on your expertise, I see so many people online going, oh, I want to help you make money online. And you're thinking, well, you haven't even made money online yet. How can you help people if you haven't done that, or if you haven't got the expertise to do that? And imposter syndrome is real, you know? And one way that I was able to get through it is I leaned on my expertise. I knew that I was trained and I was paid to source, buy, negotiate products that I could sell to the market, really think of the go-to-market strategy. So I am good at that. I didn't know much about online when I obviously first started, but I knew product. So I started with that. So make sure you find a niche that you're an expert in, and it might not be what you wanted. Like at the beginning, I didn't start with coaching because I didn't know enough that I could bring into the coaching space. But what I did is I started with product, and I knew that wasn't my end goal, but it was a step towards my goal. Focus on an area that you're an expert in, and eventually you're going to pivot and evolve. And as you learn more within the online space, you can then add that into your into your services. Or for example, I've totally pivoted from product to helping business owners. But you've got to start somewhere, and you need to make sure that it's a problem that people want to solve now, not a nice to have, but something that they would really pay for. And normally it's like to save money or to make things easier for them and save time. The next thing that I would do is I will build a social media account to start growing my audience in that niche. So I have a video which I will link below on how to start from scratch on Instagram in 2025 and what are the things that you need to do. So go and watch that. Building your audience and building your community, like there was never a time as easy as this to build your audience. You could reach so many people. And the beauty about knowledge-based coaching space is you can do it from anywhere in the world. Like, I'm in Paris right now and I'm recording this video. I have a call after this, and after that, the day is mine. It's such a good time to build your social presence, to get the attention of as many people as you would like. The next thing that I need you to focus on is building your signature framework. So building your signature framework can make you a lot of money. That signature framework is yours. And how I would do it is I would list down everything that I did to get me from point A to point B, or how I have helped like my clients in corporate, for example, from point A to point B. And I want you to then list it down and group them together, put it in sequential order, and that becomes your framework. You need to call it something, so you can brainstorm with ChatGPT. I would normally just outline it on a piece of paper or on my notes, and I will copy it, put it on ChatGPT and ask if, can you make this into a framework? Give me some suggestions on names that you can call it. So for example, for me, I've got the Insta Accelerator Roadmap. So that's my step-by-step and how I was able to build a successful business on Instagram, growing my audience. Like I said, that framework is uniquely yours and will make you a lot of money. So spend some time to write that down. And then the next thing is find a beta client that you can test your signature framework. I see a lot of people making this mistake. I'll take on a client as my beta client to give me testimonials, but taking one-on-one calls without structure. So use your signature framework, test that on that person, focus on delivering results. So whilst you're doing that, you're then tweaking your framework to make sure that it can deliver results and to make it better. So that's how I would use my beta clients to also get a credible testimonial. Please do not skip that step because that's super important. Like, yes, it worked for you and it worked for your corporate clients, but it's really different when you're doing it on your own, and it'll just give you more credibility and more authority as well. And you will learn so much from just speaking to people and testing your method out, because that's how you're going to refine it. So now that you've got your beta client, you can then launch your one-on-one service. Now, I know a lot of people are going, I don't want to do one-to-one, I am busy enough, but trust me, this phase is super important to absorb a lot of information and can really help you in the long run. Like, it's not all the time, you know, this is one phase that you needed to do so you can move on to create your signature program, because the more touch points you have with other people, the more you get to understand your clients, the more you'll be able to make that program better for them. So when I first started, I actually took on a lot of one-on-one clients, and that was strategic. Yes, it took a lot of my time, but it's the fastest way that I was able to get research, and I was paid for it. Granted, I started really, really low. Like when I first started, I had a 1 hour call plus 1 week Voxer support, which is $199, and I was sold out in like days. Like I had, I think it was 50 clients at that price, and I was like, okay, I need to put that up to $599, and then it eventually became a 90-minute session with me now is over $1,000. I'm not even taking on one-on-one clients now because I just want to focus on really refining my signature program. Like I said, it's not a long-term thing. It will really help you so much with your market research and also the pricing. People ask me, Avita, what should I price my services? I would say it's based on obviously the market, but also supply and demand, and also your experience. So the more you have touch points with your clients, the better for you to use this to establish your group program. So it's not a long-term thing. Once you're filling up your one-to-one, building your audience on Instagram or any social media platform, the next thing that you need to focus on is building a value entry offer. So a value entry offer is a low barrier for people to experience your work. So what I would recommend you normally do is, from your framework, pick what's a common pain point of your target audience. So like, for example, for me, my framework is the Insta Accelerator Roadmap, but I know one of the pain points is the viral reels formula, like growing your audience on Instagram. So I took that and it became my low ticket digital product. So that would then feed into upgrading them to Insta Accelerator, or my mastermind, which is currently at 5K, it's going to go up to 10K next month. So think of as your value entry offer is a low barrier for people, like I said, to experience your work. And it really depends whether you can do a digital product, which you can set and forget, or membership. It depends on like how much more do they need to build their trust for them to want to move on to the next step. Think of it as that. So would you go for the low ticket digital product, or would you go for a membership so you can then upgrade them to your higher ticket? Which then leads me to, once you've sorted your value entry offer and there's so much demand of your one-to-one that you can't sell enough, it's then now time to build your signature offer. Building your signature offer is your money-making machine. This is the one that will give you the cash, and it's like my mastermind, for example. It's a 5K offer that's going to turn to 10K, and I have the Insta Accelerator, which is, I always think of it as your ladder. Like, you need to create that journey for your target audience. The level of access they have with you, you need to take that into consideration as well. That's how I would recommend people building your knowledge base or coaching business, Through that, step by step, guarantee you will be able to easily build a 6-figure business. And I wish I'd known this a few years ago so that I cut to all of the mistakes that I've made, but this is why I'm doing the YouTube video, so I'm able to share my journey so you won't make the same mistakes as I did. Like after you've built your signature offer, don't keep on creating new products. Always center it around your signature offer, because it takes time. It takes time to build that funnel. It takes time to create emails that will land with your target audience. There's so much templates out there, but it's really getting to know them and really being able to speak to them in a language or in words that they can understand. And the only way to do that is really getting to know them in your offers. It does take time to build that winning funnel, and once you do, it's like printing money. Go focus on that, and let me know if you are in the corporate space or you've already started your coaching business but you're still in the corporate space, and let me know where you're at your journey so I can support you. And if you like this kind of videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.